few reasons for it, and um, long story is before during Biden's presidency, I think it was the one of the bills there. I'm not sure if it was the IRA or the Big Beautiful, the Build Back Better bill. Allowed municipalities to, through the direct pay process, get access to those federal investment tax credits. So basically 30% off these kinds of projects. Before that, we couldn't. Only third-party company, private entities could because we don't pay taxes. So within that model, it was always in our interest to go this route. Because then we overall project costs 30% off having a third-party company do it because they could get that tax. We did have a brief moment where we were eligible now for those tax credits, and we did look at a couple projects, possibly doing the ownership model. And we were looking to possibly move forward on a couple of those. Circa last summer, within the Big Beautiful bill that came out then, which phased out the tax credits associated with solar. We are now in a position where basically we're able to safe harbor these only through a model where we go through a third-party company. If we owned them ourselves, we wouldn't be able to get that 30% off tax credit. So financially, we're back in the same boat, at least for the moment, where in order to get the cheapest project overall, it makes more sense to go the third-party route. And there's other benefits there. They make their money essentially off the output of it, so they're incentivized just for their bottom line to make sure these projects are producing, at top as best as they can. So that's in our interest too. So.
Okay, and so then on that thread there, so if you ever needed at some point when you might replace the solar panels, because they either need to be replaced or sometimes you just get much better ones, so they would do that too. That would be part of the.
Yeah, we do our agreements for a 20-year term, and generally speaking, we haven't yet. And looking at our projects, kind of opted, or the owners haven't opted to replace or upgrade the panels yet. It's a tall order. It's not just a matter of swapping out panels for more efficient ones. You generally have to replace all your wiring. You have to upgrade your inverters. You probably have to go talk to the utility about your interconnection kind of capacity limits. So in order to kind of upgrade it from where you are, there's a lot involved. And I think in some cases, Rumford Avenue is a good example where it's a big enough project that it might actually kind of net out to go that route.
Our very first solar project was Rumford, wasn't it?
Rumford was not our first. I think that one came online in like 2016, 2017 timeframe, somewhere in there. And we had a few before that, but it was an early one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks. Sam and Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, and actually, Allison, you've been on public facilities longer than me, but between public facilities and design review committee, what I remember also is, given the 20-year contract terms, it always seemed in our best interest not to own these because of how technology may change, and we didn't really want to be stuck with them at the end of the term. We'd rather lease with a company that would remove them and upgrade them if it became appropriate, rather than own them and have to deal with what are we going to do with all these old solar panels. So I think that was another reason we've gone in this direction.
Yeah, yes, we did have those discussions, and that is the general theory, at least continues to be today.
Yeah, there is definitely a cost. When you reach the end of the term, we always have it built into our agreements that it's the owner's job to decommission the system. So that means removing it from our property, returning our property to the way it was before install, and in a responsible way disposing of or recycling where possible, all of the equipment. So it's nice to have that built in at the end of it, so it's not our headache.
You don't wanna be stuck with that.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Okay, great. You're gonna second it?
Yes, sure. Hopefully
Okay.
20 seconds.
Okay, I don't.
You don't need to.
Okay, all right, there we go. So those in favor or those that, all right.
Aye.
Okay,
There you go.
all right, 5, okay. Okay, so our next item
Thank you, counselors.
is number 188-26, authorization to transfer $277,499 for heat pumps at Fire Station 2. Is on the mayor requesting authorization to transfer and expend the sum of $277,000, $499 for from the Energy Stabilization Fund for the installation of heat pumps at Fire Station 2. Same thing. Okay.
Great.
So this is you, Commissioner.
I'll jump in and then I'll turn it over to Sam. This is again a great energy project for us. Some folks, we did a little field trip to Fire Station 1 and 2 last month. Some of you came along and got to go up in the attic and see all of it. And it's the first phase in its splendor, but it's really again a great opportunity. And I'm going to turn it over to Sam because he knows the ins and outs of the technical side much better than I do.
Thanks, Commish. I don't have a ton to add on this one. I can just talk through a little of what was in the docket there. This is a project that we did split into 3 phases. So we can, if you were on the tour, I unfortunately was not able to be there, but this is the second phase of that work, progressing along with RISE for kind of continuity. They've done a lot of our work, including work happening right now just down the hall from you in the ISD office. So this is kind of a phased approach to, in large part, decarbonizing Fire Station 2 and also kind of upgrading the overall HVAC system for our staff there. And Commissioner, if there's anything else you'd like me to go through there, but otherwise look forward to questions.
No, I think we're good.
Any questions?
That.
Okay, I went on that tour, and so I'm assuming all of this, in terms of the actual units, there's an incredible amount of detail in this packet about heat pumps. But some of it is upstairs in the attic space, and some of it is going to be actually within the actual common spaces, the actual siting of. Because there was plenty of room upstairs in the attic, for traditional, but more than the units, actually the ductwork. It was pretty impressive, how much space that was up there. Okay, so a motion. Sure. Okay. To approve?
Would you like to second?
All right, are we ready?
Ready.
Vote on this one? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay. So our third item is 203-26, the transfer of $100,000 for increased water and sewer usage. Is under the mayor requesting authorization to transfer $100,000 from account 0110320-511001 executive full-time salaries to account number 011-504-52300 school building maintenance, water and sewer to cover increased usage and expense cost overages. Okay, and this will be addressed by you.
Me.
All right.
Public buildings. So I did provide in the back for comparison the bill from 24 and the water usage bill from 25. It was a dramatic increase in cost, and it's about 3 times the cost. It's twice the use. I had to spend a long time looking at these water bills. I don't know, you guys get these bills every month. You must have fun figuring them out too. The bottom line is, we we reached out with DPW, we looked at the meters, we checked with Parks and Rec. The school program didn't change. The bottom line became that it was an increased use in irrigation. And last summer we had, a pretty dry period and a drought period. The following bills then just kind of fell back in line where we would have expected them to be. So, we covered those bills last summer. Now we're at the end of the year. We're juggling. We're kind of really down to the end of our funds, and we want to be able to make sure that we can respond to things. And so we were looking to see if we could capture back, the $100,000 of those funds to make sure that we can be responding to the things that we need to be doing. And that's basically the request.
Okay, questions?
I have a few questions. So
Okay.
just looking at the water bill, is this specifically relating to Newton North?
Yes,
Just Newton North?
yes.
Did you see that kind of increase in any of our other public buildings that have outdoor irrigation that they need to maintain?
That's a good question. I would have to check. I don't believe so. This was the one that seemed to be the one that jumped out. I could certainly look at the other the bills for that time period for the other schools.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, obviously we owe it, we need to pay it, that's fine. I just, it just seems so curious, particularly that it went back to normal. The other question I have on this, which I don't expect you to be able to answer, Commissioner Valcarce, is, so I find the source of funding here interesting, that it's $100,000 from the executive full-time salaries account. And the reason I find it interesting, I'd have to look back in our docket items from earlier this year. But when we had the transition from the Fuller administration to the Laredo administration, there were a few docket items to close out money we owed to Mr. Yo. And I thought to Ms. Lemieux, who at the time was planning to retire, particularly paying out their vacation time. And we transferred money to pay it. And I just find it sort of odd that now we have $100,000 extra in executive. I mean, I guess that's salaries, maybe that was money we put to a benefits account or some other account that manages vacation time or something, but I just find this a little weird that, and that we transferred money to executive salaries for all of the.
New positions.
Right,
Yes.
all the new positions, so.
Yeah.
I don't know who can deliver this message, because I know Ms. Lemieux is not going to be there at finance on Monday, but we're gonna have to take this up at finance on Monday. Ms. Pennell, maybe you could help me, just to let Ms. Lemieux and Mr. Patello know. It would be helpful to have a little bit of an accounting of what has happened to this account. That led us to this moment. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just curious if the fact that there's a pool at Newton North has factors into this, or if it's definitely, you think, the fields.
We didn't come to a concrete answer, but I don't recall there being any issues with the pool. Again, I could go back and review it with schools, but I don't recall that being, and there wasn't an increased program. We kind of searched high and low to kind of figure out where, because it's just such a jump. And so our best assumption became that it had to be connected to the irrigation use.
Okay.
We will check and make sure that there wasn't a leak at the north. That would explain it.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
No, we had that at GAF. It's interesting though, that those were the two things you thought of. I'm thinking, those kids are flushing the toilets too much. That is my first thought, install low flush toilets, but I think given the questions around it, I too am very curious about what caused that jump, and I think because of that, I'm gonna abstain tonight. Just,
We can hold
well,
it.
I'm just gonna mention, I'm gonna say you can all think about what you wanna do, if you hold it, that's okay too.
I have a question
Yeah.
too. So so you don't have like a dedicated outdoor water meter for the fields?
No, there isn't, not in my, what I was able to get out of, had to go back and research it because at that time I wasn't totally involved in those things. But that's my understanding, is that the meter covers the use for both.
Oh, it's AstroTurf at North, so that's not getting water, right?
It's not an actual, is it not completely?
It's not completely, I think the baseball,
Okay, so-
softball or natural.
So there's just the one meter for the whole school, whatever, inside, outside.
That's my understanding.
Created separate meters for watering, but didn't install it in one of our own facilities.
So is there a lot of watering going outside, outdoor watering happening at North? The field in the natural, isn't it?
Yeah, the field in front is natural.
Yeah. And that has to be watered.
Again, all the other bills up for the rest of the time, and again, it's seasonal, so then there's probably less watering, this is the July, that in that quarter, the bills went back to being normal, what we would have expected them to be, so.
The city's getting a taste of what all our residents had to go through.
It's not flushing now, but there's July.
They better,
School is not
close,
closed.
they're not,
No, that's true. So do we want to hold this or do we want to, okay,
I just wanna, if folks wanna hold it, I would vote against hold, but if others wanna hold it, I certainly understand. The reason I would vote against is that we are in the financial cleanup period of June.
yeah,
So if it's held tonight,
yeah,
then it will not be dealt with unless there's an extra meeting of this committee between now and also would have to vote before our council meeting on June 15th, because the next meeting of PF is after June 15th. And then we don't have another full council meeting before the end of the fiscal year after that, so.
we just request that our questions get answered.
And so, well, and also, I mean, there's a few days between now and finance, or we could also vote it subject to second call if we think that we could get answers between now and June 15th. Or just ask to keep it on the radar screen and try to figure out what the heck happened here.
well, it'd be nice to get answers from you, in terms of your meeting on Monday night.
I just don't know, I mean, investigating a leak, all that.
No,
that's
I'm
not gonna
thinking more
happen
in
between
terms of
now
what
and
you
Monday.
specifically asked about with the.
Oh, sure, but that won't be hard,
Yeah.
they'll come
Okay.
ready.
Okay,
Counselors, we should have an answer on the leak by Monday.
You think so?
I do think so.
Okay,
all right. So there's one of two things, because I know that the dollar amount was potentially gonna be amended. So we could actually poll at our city council meeting, the members of the PA committee, in terms of a vote, if we want to do that. We could also condition it, in terms of what you're suggesting it, in terms of second call, if we wanted to do that.
right.
So,
Do you think, Commissioner Sullivan, do you think that the question about did we have other water bill increases in school buildings or comparable?
We can try for that for Monday night. I cannot promise that one, but
Okay,
I think
what do
that,
you think by June 15th?
yes.
Okay,
so let's do that.
subject to second call?
Yeah.
All right, so motion to approve, subject to second call.
Okay. Those vote?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain,
Okay,
I'll vote at the full council, I already have information.
okay.
Well, just for clarification, we're looking into the leak, and your other question was whether there was any other increases in any of the other schools or buildings where we're irrigating fields.
Right,
I would say particularly maybe South, which is a smaller but similar use, just to compare. But look at all the buildings you want to, but I think South would be a good comparison.
but we're
Okay.
like consider Oak Hill, for example, like all the soccer fields back there. Wouldn't you think if it was an irrigation because of dryness issue, we would have seen?
It uses a lot of wells for watering, is
Oh,
that correct? Parks and Rec uses a lot of wells, so they don't have to get caught in them.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'd say Commissioner and anybody else chime in if you disagree. You know, just if you could try to find a couple examples that are as closely comparable to this in the city. Newton South seems reasonable, but to Councilor Leary's point, I don't really know where we rely on wells and where we rely on irrigation systems. So I think, you know, your judgment about just poking around to some other examples would probably suffice.
Yeah, I will look around, and obviously if we're using wells, then we won't look at those because they're using wells. It wouldn't factor in. But where we're irrigating still off of the building water, I'll take a look at those.
And Alex, has your department looked at switching some of the schools with the heavy usage water to separate water meters for the exterior for fields?
I don't know if we've looked into it, but it's something to look into for sure.
It's worth looking at saving that extra sewage fee that isn't used when you water the fields.
Get water. It's still we can vote a controversial vote on it.
On rain
next
barrels. Rain barrels.
Actually, I mean, I guess this is another question for Monday, but the school building maintenance account, is that out of the school budget?
No, that's the budget. When we covered the budget, remember that falls in buildings because we pay the water and the sewer. So that's why we covered the cost, because all of that was taken out of the school's budget years ago, since the predictability of water costs apparently still continues to be not easy. So again, we managed to cover it, you know, where we are very down at the end and we're just making sure that we can manage critical things that come up. But obviously we also want to be able to keep working on other things. So it would just be helpful to keep us going and also avoid kind of piling up a lot of stuff after July 1, because then it's summer and we have all the schools and things to do. So we're just trying to keep things going.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, so our next item is 199-26, an appropriation of up to $2,792,700 for water main improvements. His Honor the Mayor requesting authorization to appropriate and expend up to $2,792,700 for water budget reserves for fiscal year 2027 water main improvements.
May I join you at the table?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So this is a request to appropriate and expend up to $2,792,700 from water budget reserves for our fiscal year 2027 water main improvement, which is part of the City of Newton's capital improvement plan. It's a 10-year program. As you're aware, the city established a 10-year, $40 million capital improvement plan to rehabilitate all of our aging water infrastructure throughout Newton. We are in year 9 of this program. The goal of this program is to improve fire flow capacity, increase system reliability, reduce water main breaks, and continue delivery of our high-quality water to all of our residents and businesses. In September 2024, the City Council authorized us to participate in the 10-year MWRA water loan program, which allows me to borrow approximately $19.6 million through a zero interest loan, which is payable over 10 years. This funding, combined with city resources, provides the funding necessary to advance our water main program. The city is committed to investing up to $4.75 million annually in water system improvements through a combination of the loan and this funding source. This request will fund the list of water main rehabilitations included in the docket request. I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at those. These locations were selected based on a number of factors that include pipe age, break history, hydraulic performance, fire flow, coordination with roadway improvements, and the overall system condition. By replacing these aging water mains before failure occurs, we reduce emergency repair costs, improve reliability for the residents, strengthen fire protection, and protect the city's infrastructure investment. This request continues the city's approach of replacing water infrastructure in a planned and cost-effective manner. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Counselor Rosemary?
Thank you. So my first question is about some of these specific stretches of road. Dolphin Road obviously is right in front of Ward School on a relatively small street. How do you manage the traffic flow and timing of that work?
So we work with the police throughout that process to ensure that everybody has access during the construction time. We also plan not to do it while school's in session.
You can do it while, like, over the summer
Yes.
or, okay, yeah, so what a nightmare.
Or a vacation or.
Okay, and on these projects, how much cutting up of the road is there?
It depends whether it's a replacement or relining of the pipe. Obviously, the replacement's much more intrusive to the residents.
Okay, so
Then it's just-
relining, you can sort of snake down there without opening the whole.
Yeah, it's through the manhole. You go in and line the pipe manhole to manhole.
God, that's amazing.
It is amazing, and that's always what we strive to do. Obviously, the most cost effective and the least disruptive.
Okay, and these roads that are all on this list, none of these have been recently paved?
No,
Okay,
we purposely work with utilities to ensure that doesn't happen. We
Yeah.
can't guarantee it if there's a break, obviously, but that avoids that problem for us.
I'd asked the question, and I know that there's been an email about it since that I haven't really fully understood, but right in this area at Ward and Waverly, I'm still not
Mhm.
100% sure exactly what is happening there.
That's an MWRA project.
Okay,
We will later replace our water main when they've completed their stretch. They are doing a huge water main replacement. Again, it runs to Arlington maybe. So it's a multi-year.
Yeah.
but didn't we
improvement.
pave that
We
area?
paved one portion of the street. We've completed that portion. MWRA has completed that portion of their work. This is a continuation along. Oh, we did do a temporary pavement. It is a very thin skim coat. We felt that the resident would appreciate that because the road was in such tough shape.
Got
And we
it,
wanted
that
to make
explains
sure That
it.
they could get through the winter without real damage to their cars, we'll say.
Got it. So you do still intend to repave more
Absolutely.
fully that
Yes.
stretch? That makes a lot more sense.
There'll be a full repair once it's complete.
I did not realize you did, what is it, like a skim
Skim
coat?
coat.
Okay, I didn't realize that that's what. had
It's
occurred.
if a street's in really bad shape and we know that there's utility work, we do try to come in and give a temporary repair
Okay,
to
great.
hold it over.
Thank you.
I was just gonna, I was gonna ask that question about the MWRA work, because it's, those streets there are right close to that area.
Mhm.
So this will be completed, this work will be completed prior to the MWRA starting the.
The MWRA is out there right now. Working. We won't,
But it won't impact
No.
anything.
it won't be on us in our work.
Okay.
Will be a trap. I mean, because it's been pretty, a little bit of a traffic cluster.
With those new all four-way stops.
It would be fine. So we always use the police to guide us through that.
Yeah.
And the detours and things for the traffic moves.
Oh,
I understand. But it is important critical work.
okay.
Because I'm not a financial wizard like my colleague here, my question is really simple and innocent. Is it? They have almost $3 million in the water budget reserves?
They're a little high right now, but we
So much
usually,
to have as a reserve.
what happens is we don't touch it for 10 years, so it builds.
Oh, okay. So has this stock been touched for 10 years?
I'd have to go back and
Oh,
look, but
okay.
it's been some time since we've accessed the water reserve. That's why we do occasionally draw it down
Yeah,
to
okay.
keep it within.
You're getting good interest.
I knew it would be an easy question to answer. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Are we good with this? Are we ready to vote?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Those in Vote.
It's in Ward 7.
Thank you.
You're talking
Condition the motion that you'll do the light blinking yellow rather than turning it red.
Wait, then he goes to the driveway.
All right, our next item is 198-26, is honor the mayor requesting authorization to appropriate and expend $3 million from the June 30th, 2025 certified free cash to account 01C 40112-553100 Accelerated Road Program, paving and supplies to support the city's transportation and paving improvement program.
God, yes. It would be really helpful. The next one's a request for $900,000 transfer from street suspension to the same account.
Oh,
That's the one, that's the
No,
one.
I actually skipped the right.
Oh, did you?
Yes, yes,
One.
yes, so, do you want to discuss them together?
It
or-
makes sense because it's
Okay,
for exactly the same thing.
okay, so let me just read 197 -26. Is honor the mayor requesting authorization to transfer the sum of $900,000 from account, I'll read it again, 01-40120-511002 DPW Division of Full-Time Wages to account 01-40121-553300 DPW Support Admin Support Paving Supplies override for the improvement of the city's roadways, sidewalks, and roads.
Street division.
Say it again.
If you need it to be on the record, street division. That's really just division.
It is our streets division.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've read the vision.
Correct.
It doesn't.
Sorry.
I know, okay. Because
Correct.
there's the real
Thank
issue.
you. Thank
I didn't
you.
know what the recording.
There's a lot of, yes.
But you got the numbers from it.
Yes, okay. Please
So
proceed.
the chair just noted, I'm requesting approval on two related funding requests that will support the fiscal year 2027 Transportation Network Improvement Plan. The first request authorizes the transfer of $900,000 from savings within the Streets Division personnel budget to the paving supplies account. These savings were generated through vacancies during fiscal year 2026 and can now be redirected towards roadway improvements. The second request is to appropriate and expend $3 million from free cash to fund the Transportation Network Improvement Program. Together, these will fully fund the annual commitment of $9.5 million for the program. This program funds improvements to roadways, sidewalk, ADA ramp, bicycle, and traffic calming infrastructure. Happy to answer any questions.
When ready, I would make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Amazing how we knit that street money together. For the year.
There's almost 4 million that gets to go to that.
Yes, 8.9.
$9,000 budget.
So that's it.
Yeah.
3.9
Yeah.
in chapter 90 funds.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are an increase this year,
Yeah.
so
All righty,
very helpful.
so are we ready to vote?
Are we voting on them separately or together?
Well,
Probably separately.
we need to vote on them separately.
Together.
Okay, all right, so let's do that.
Okay, make a
You,
motion.
yeah, I mean, yes,
I'll make it clear. I'll make a motion to approve item 197-26 and item 198-26.
okay. Oh,
I.
I,
That's.
and you.
Same. Yeah. I forgot. After you, yeah, I forgot you actually to say something.
Okay. All right, so the next item is 210-26, the appropriation, His Honor the Mayor requesting authorization to appropriate and expend $135,000 from the June 30th, 2025 certified free cash to complete upgrades to the fuel stations at both Craft Street and Elliott Street yards.
So this is the final phase of the fuel management system modernization effort. We started it 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. The existing fuel station infrastructure, including the fuel pedestals and associated hardware, is more than 20 years old and has exceeded its useful life. While the system continues to operate, aging equipment is reliability concern. It's increased maintenance requirements and limits our ability to efficiently manage our fueling operations. Over the past year, the department has already completed software upgrades associated with the fuel management system. I believe we were in here a year and a half ago requesting funding to update that software as it was way beyond its useful life and they were no longer supporting it. This request will fund the remaining hardware improvements necessary to fully modernize the system and complete the project. These fuel stations support a significant portion of the city's fleet, including all police, fire, DPW, and Parks and Recreation vehicles, and equipment that are critical to daily operations in each of those departments. The upgrades will improve system reliability and reduce the risk of equipment failures, increase operational efficiency for fleet fueling, and support fueling operations for years to come. This funding allows us to proactively replace aging infrastructure before failure occurs. Happy to answer any questions.
This doesn't have to do with any of the storage fuel tanks or anything like that, right?
No, these are actual pedestals, so we use a fob system to track all of our fuel management and for every department
Okay,
that uses fuel. This will upgrade those
Okay.
pedestals and all the related infrastructure that goes along with it. Get rid of gates.
What's the employees?
All right, any other questions? Are we ready to vote?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Vote.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one is 212-26, His Honor the Mayor requesting authorization to appropriate and expend $5,770,175 from the June 30th, 2025 certified free cash to purchase 2 multiple trackless vehicles for winter maintenance and sweeping operations on sidewalks, bicycle lanes, and multi-use paths, as well as 2 snow raiders machines for snow and ice removal at sidewalks, bus stops, and crossing guard locations.
Ready?
Yeah.
So over the past several years, Newton has significantly expanded the amount of pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure that must be maintained by the Department of Public Works. This includes sidewalks, protected bike lanes, shared use paths, pedestrian crossings, and bus stops that require snow and ice clearing and year-round upkeep. This equipment purchase will allow us to improve both the quality and efficiency of those operations. The 2 trackless units are multi-purpose maintenance vehicles that DPW can use throughout the year. During the winter, they can be equipped with plows, spreaders, snow blowers, and anti-icing systems for snow and ice clearing. During the rest of the year, they can be equipped with sweepers and other attachments for sidewalk and bicycle lane maintenance. The proposed purchase includes plows, brine systems, sweepers, snow blowers, spreaders, and other accessories that maximize the usefulness of the equipment. The 2 Snow Raider units are compact, highly maneuverable machines specifically designed for snow and ice removal in constrained areas like our sidewalks, bus stops, curb ramps, crossing guard locations, and pedestrian facilities. These units feature anti-icing systems and interchangeable attachments that allow operators to plow, spread de-icing materials, sweep, and perform snow removal efficiently in areas that the larger equipment cannot access. These purchases will improve snow and ice removal response times on sidewalk and bicycle facilities, improve maintenance of bus stops, pedestrian crossings, and school walking routes, and increase efficiency by reducing the need for manual snow removal operations.
wow, that's a good sales pitch.
Okay,
I don't know if you're all aware that we do have a hand crew that is out in the elements shoveling. So this equipment, the snow raiders,
I was thinking Elliot,
are specifically to help that.
yeah.
okay, all right, so we have a bunch of questions, Councilor
Sure.
Gordon.
Thank you, Chair. I was curious if this will also replace, like, we have a contractor, right, who's on the Washington Street pilot, who's doing the bike lanes?
It has the potential.
Okay,
Isn't that done by a separate contract?
It is
That's
done
what
by
I'm
a
saying.
separate contractor.
I'm saying, can you replace the paying somebody else if we have our own equipment?
So know that we're probably adding Needham Street, which has a multi-use path on it, along with Commonwealth Avenue, Auburndale.
Got it.
So it depends how efficient we are. We are right now looking at our snow plan. So I don't want to commit to doing that, but we will do it if it's possible.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay.
It's hard to imagine that two vehicles could do Needham Street, Washington Street pilot, and they probably won't be able to cover all of them.
Oh, we have other tracklesses.
These are just the new ones.
Yes, those are the new ones, and they will have all the attachments that allow us. to
Is there a
speak.
standard width that these come in order to do the narrow paths?
I think
So 48
yes, I included all the dimensions in the backup.
Okay, no, I didn't hear you say it. I was just thinking, how wide are these things? Okay, thanks.
Okay, Counselor Grossman.
So I don't know if that made it. Oh, here we go. Yes, now I see it. So you answered my primary question, which is what were we doing in the absence of these? And the answer is we have a few of these and we have people who shovel.
Yes, it's exactly right. We have people that shovel, so the snow raiders will really help.
Are
the
the
crews?
are the people who shovel full-time city employees?
They are.
So if we're using these, is the goal to get through it, I mean, obviously more efficiently and not to burden them quite as much physically, but will that free them up to plow more quickly?
No, it's a huge commitment to clear all those crossing guard locations, and they do all the bus stops. It is a lot, all the bridges. The hand crews handle a significant amount of work. It will allow them to do it more efficiently. We would potentially avoid a school closure because we have this equipment and we could do it a little more quickly.
Thinking the early morning timing of all those schools.
Yeah. Yes.
Right, I mean, that's why I was sort of interested, because it's interesting, it's not like an enormous amount of money, but it's a significant amount of money, and it just sort of strikes me about this bubbling to the surface of priorities for free cash. It must be a pretty
It's a significant.
compelling.
Right, yes, our other
Investment.
tracklesses are getting to the end of useful life as well. So we were still using some bombardiers, I believe. These would replace those.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
These are the guys that do the yard waste too, right?
Transportation is the hand crew.
Oh, transportation's the hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Transportation and beautification and parks and
All right. I just want to say I support giving people who are manually shoveling a technology tool to make their life and backs healthier.
Thank you.
Except,
No.
except for flowers. Except for leaf flowers.
That's the other one.
That's in the other room.
Whoa, right, any other questions? Are we good?
Motion to approve.
Yeah, okay. Oh. Okay, so our final item is 200-26 is honor the mayor requesting authorization to accept a low interest loan in the amount of $4,329,664 from the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust State Revolving Fund for fiscal year 2027. Construction of stormwater projects at Cold Spring Park, Abbott Dog Park, and potentially Braceland Park.
As the committee is aware, Newton is required by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection to reduce our phosphorus discharge into the Charles River watershed. This project before you tonight represents a significant step forward to meeting those regulatory requirements, while as leveraging a favorable state financing option. The proposed loan will fund stormwater control measures at 3 primary locations: Cabot Dog Park, Cold Spring Park, Bobby Braceland Park. These sites were selected following extensive technical evaluation conducted by Woodard and Curran. The evaluation considered phosphorus reduction potential, constructability, environmental permitting requirements, site constraints, and overall cost effectiveness. Collectively, these projects are expected to provide approximately 55 to 66 pounds of annual phosphorus reduction at an estimated construction cost of approximately $3 million, making them some of the most cost-effective near-term opportunities available to us. At Cabot Dog Park, the proposed subsurface infiltration system is anticipated to remove approximately 17 pounds of phosphorus annually. The project has advanced groundwater monitoring and is considered well positioned to meet the state's revolving fund schedule. At Cold Spring Park, we are evaluating stormwater treatment opportunities both within the park and adjacent and at the adjacent wooded area. Depending on the final configuration, this location has the potential to remove 29 to 40 pounds of phosphorus annually, which is our largest opportunity. At Bobby Braceland Park, the project focuses on treatment of runoff from the Chestnut Street drainage network and is expected to provide approximately 9 pounds of annual phosphorus reduction. This project also aligns well with the future planned park projects. Throughout the project development, the city will continue our coordination with Parks and Recreation, Conservation staff, and Law Department regarding any Article 97 considerations. And these sites were selected following extensive technical evaluation conducted by Woodard and Curran. The evaluation, I already said this. This is what I get for doing this at the last minute.
So far, so good.
From a financial perspective, this loan provides a favorable borrowing opportunity while the standard state revolving fund interest rate is 2%. Newton qualifies for a reduced rate of 1.5%, as is a housing choice community. This reduced rate helps minimize the long-term cost of compliance while allowing the city to continue advancing required phosphorus control projects. City council authorization is required by June 30th, 2026 for these projects to remain eligible for funding through the Clean Water State Revolving Funds Program. This request allows Newton to continue making progress toward meeting federal stormwater requirements while taking advantage of low-cost financing and implementing projects that provide long-term water quality benefits to the Charles River watershed. Happy to answer any questions.
Councilor Kelly?
Yeah, I'm just curious. So these are mainly Parks and Rec properties.
They are.
And I didn't know about the Cabot Dog Park subsurface drainage system. There's someone who probably knows something about that. Briefly tell me something about that and how that relates to phosphorus reduction.
So we're putting with on a below ground infiltration system. It's just a chamber with an infiltration with filtration devices to capture the phosphorus before it creates runoff into the Charles.
Where does it, how does it get to the Charles from Cabot?
It connects to our drainage system.
Oh, just by going in the
Yeah,
drainage system.
yes.
Okay. Brook runs through there.
Right through there.
Well, that's what I wondered, I was going into Laundry Brook, I can get the relationship with Cold Spring Park and Braceland Park, but so that one.
It's Laundry
that
Brook.
park, I'm like, okay, thanks, now I know something I didn't know.
Yeah, Laundry Brook runs all through that, down by the Jackson School, and then out
It gets
into
into Laundry
water.
Brook through the drainage system or through infiltration through the.
Through the drainage
Subsurface,
system
okay.
and through the subsurface. The subsurface will capture the rain and drainage.
There's a huge outfall
Mhm.
on Laundry Brook, right next to, it's just, west of the Newton Yacht Club.
Yeah, but that's not near Cabot Dog Park.
No, but that's what,
That's where it goes, yeah.
It runs all the way from,
yeah.
I know that, I saw the road with all that.
all the way through the City Hall ponds, through Bullis Pond.
Yep.
All the way down through Cabot onto Jackson Road and then.
I
up
think we
to
still need to capture a lot of trash and plastic waste that goes through there. That I always say that, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's handling the boom down there? And, yeah,
Thanks.
I never got names wrong, right? I think it's the state though.
Councilor Grossman?
Does Woodard and Curran do like a really thorough evaluation citywide of where they think the most effective sites are to conduct a project?
Yes, so I think because you're new to this committee, we have been going through this for a couple of years trying to identify projects. We have real issues in the city with the high groundwater table, which makes some of these projects infeasible. We went for the higher, obviously phosphorus reduction projects. And they were all ruled out either due to high groundwater table or contaminated soils.
Right.
So you, you overlay all those criteria and come up with.
You start doing the
Priorities.
How does
monitoring.
a high, because I don't understand, how does a high groundwater table eliminate a site from
You can't
being able
put
to do
in.
You
it?
can't go
the-
down,
You can't go down into you can't put in the sub.
because the water is there, so you can't build down to
No.
put an infiltration system below
Capture
the
it.
water table. It would
Has to
displace
sit
that,
Yeah.
above the water table.
yeah,
Yes.
interesting,
Okay.
like fun, so we've just both learned.
Well, it sounds like you already knew it.
Well, I got it. I'm learning. You're talking. I learned, no,
So I just have a quick question about, in terms of the anticipated construction cost. So the systems, once they're in place, they will be built. So then the annual cost, in terms of the cleaning out of the phosphorus, how it's collected and then how it's, is that something, I don't even know the types of filters that are used. Is it,
Probably handle that in-house is the.
oh, really?
Yes.
So it's.
It should be an actually really extensive maintenance program. It's changing the filters and making sure everything.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's interesting.
And
Okay.
it's a rainwater garden at Cold Spring Park, just so
Oh,
you're all
nice.
aware, there'll be no underground infrastructure there.
Wow.
We use
Oh,
track
that's very
to filter
nice.
it out.
water level there.
It is
pretty
exactly.
I was wondering.
Swamp, so it's a rain or.
It is a
Swale.
rain garden, swale.
So are there other potential sites that are gonna be identified and?
We will continue.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have a massive requirement for phosphorus reduction.
Yeah.
4,000 pounds?
It's
How much was it?
5,000.
No.
So like 50 here and there is gonna take a long time to get.
Mhm.
Only got 4,455 to go.
Wow.
We may be hopeful that the EPA does allow us a sweeping credit.
Yeah, yes.
That would really help us. It would probably get us more than halfway there.
Oh, wow.
What's the deadline for that reduction?
2028, we have filed for an alternative schedule with the EPA. We are still waiting to hear from them.
That's
They-
soon.
It is soon, yes. So we've asked to extend the schedule. Because it is a substantial, I believe it's $142 million for the first phase and over $500 million for the second phase.
You can get it from the slush fund.
Wait, do you mean, that's what it costs
Oh, no, that's.
to do the projects, or that's
That's what
the,
it would cost to get to that
Yeah.
level of phosphorus reduction.
and if we don't, then what?
That's to be seen.
Yeah, don't dare ask. No, it's- So the sweeping would deal with the leaf part of it, which is a huge part of the
It's a
phosphorus,
huge
right?
part
Yeah,
of the
okay.
phosphorus contributions within the waterways. Unfortunately, right now, we are not getting for the credit that we do deserve. We're not seeing the credit as New Hampshire, and I believe Wisconsin is the other one. If we applied the rate that New Hampshire is getting, we would be more than halfway there.
Councilor Albright.
So I may have missed this, but the Cold Springs Park one, is that gonna be in the dog park?
It will take a small portion of the dog park
And near where?
towards the back by the woods.
Okay. Is there a fence there?
There would be.
Okay. All right. So the dog park can still
So-
coexist?
Yes, the dog park can coexist. We will work with Parks and Recreation on all of this.
Okay, good.
For both the Cabot Dog Park and Cold Spring, and Bobby Bridgeton is up for, I believe, a redesign and improvement. So we will coordinate with them on that.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Any other questions? Okay, all right. Okay.
The clerk is in the room.
Well, it's,
It's on the record.
yes, yes.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Right, all right.
Did you have another question, Counselor?
No, I would say I'm zipping my lip and not talking unnecessarily. I'm not being good.
Very good. So I think we are done.
Are the other P's still meeting?
Yes. Yeah,
They're
so
on
do
leave
we,
for it
we
now.
don't do adjourn in public. We don't have to adjourn, do we?
You don't have to say yours.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
These are all gonna be on my hearing.
Okay, all right, so we are.
We just are.
Sorry.
All right. No worries.
Make a motion.
The size of the.
Yeah, Larry.
Yes. Already.
Yeah. All righty.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Nice
absolutely.
hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, we didn't see all of it.
Recording stopped.